That we're all together as one family today to celebrate the life of Julie M. Misegades. And I just want to say how wonderful it is to see people in bright colors. And Zoe told me that Julie said, I've had a great life, and I have so much to be grateful for. I don't want this service to be people wearing black and mourning, that people should come together and celebrate what a wonderful life I've had. And that's what we're going to do today, to celebrate how blessed we have all been to have Julie in our lives and to still have that memory in our hearts. So may the words that I speak and all that is shared today in song and in prayer be the meditations of my heart, that just what we need to hear, what Julie would want said on her behalf. You know, I always think that each of us is like a crystal, the facets of a crystal, and there are many, many different facets, and we all, have different aspects of our lives. And here at our church, we all saw Julie, when she would come in on Sunday, but everybody has seen different facets of what a wonderful person she was, and we'll be able to share some of that today. And I just want to thank Aaron and the family for putting together this beautiful obituary. It's just, boy, I learned a lot of things I didn't know about your mother, and so, boy, cherish that when you take it home with you. So my prayer today is that after this service, and our sharing, that we will always remember the wholeness of Julie's human expression in this lifetime, and be reminded of the spiritual truth about Julie, that she is a spiritual being who had a human experience, and she took hold of that gift of life and, boy, lived it to the fullest. So let us begin in prayer. That's the most important thing that we'll do today. I invite you to just take a deep breath, and as we begin this time with open hearts and open minds and a sense for the infinite possibility of good that lies within each and every one of us, we give our attention to this time and place, to the presence of God within us and in the midst of us, that this is a sacred day when our hearts come together to gather and honor the life of Julie Misegades and to support her family and loved ones in this transition. Thank you, God, for giving us the precious gifts of peace and acceptance. Thank you for the sure and certain knowledge that Julie is in your care as she continues on in her eternal journey. We have been blessed by our experience of knowing Julie, and we trust that there's a greater plan at work in all of our lives. We release Julie into your care and are grateful for our memories of her life well lived. Your light surrounds us, your love enfolds us, your power protects us, God's presence watches over us, and all is well. Thank you, God. Amen. So some of us came together to help plan the service, and we were really, really blessed to be able to arrange for Karen Mcdonald to be the soloist and Joe Broncato to be our pianist, and together they are just a wonderful team. And then we looked at all of the songs that our choir has sung over the years, and we found songs that we knew were some of Julie's favorite songs that she loved to sing. And guess what? The common theme in all of them is love. And so our first song today is Only Love Can Do That. And if you would like to sing along with us or just listen, and actually this song was written by Richard McDeesey, who is going to be the guest speaker and musician for our 80th anniversary celebration in October, on October 12th. So that's the only commercial I'm going to make during the service, but I'm putting in a plug for our 80th anniversary celebration in October. But Karen and Joe.
Darkness cannot drive away darkness. Only light can do that. Hatred cannot drive away hatred. Only love can do that. Darkness cannot drive away darkness. Only light can do that. Hatred cannot drive away hatred. Only love can do that. All you soldiers of peace, hatred has an enemy. If you want the fighting to cease, remember these words from the fallen king. Darkness cannot drive away darkness. Only light can do that. drive away hatred. Only love can do that. We must all try to be an instrument of peace. Remember, an eye for an eye leaves everyone blind, and our children never see. Darkness cannot drive away darkness. Only light can do that. Hatred cannot drive away hatred. Only love can do that. Only love can heal. Only love can take the fear away. Only love is real. Only love will come to save the day. Darkness cannot drive away darkness. Only light can do that. Hatred cannot drive away hatred. Only love can do that. Darkness cannot drive away darkness. Only light can do that. Hatred cannot drive away hatred. Only love can do that. Only love can do that. Only love.
So, thank you. Julie loves singing that song. I can see some of our choir members singing along right now. So I wanted to give us a chance just to greet each other a little bit, to just maybe turn to a few people around you and just say peace, or peace and blessings to you, peace and love, or across the room, peace and love. Peace and love. Thank you. Okay, you guys got it good. Our purpose here today is to remember our dearly beloved Julie and to reaffirm our faith in eternal life as we bless Julie on her way into her next experience in living. It's our prayer that from this time forward we may never think of Julie as limited in any way by time or form, but always as a living soul continuing on the pathway of life, ever in the wise and loving care of the divine presence. As I refer to God as infinite way, it's my favorite word for God. But I'd like to say a few words first about this whole idea of remembering someone. That when we say we remember someone, to me it means several different things. We remember our shared experiences. We remember, things we did together, or funny things that somebody said, or the pictures and all those good times. But we can also remember the spiritual truth about a person, that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And I also think there's something about this whole process of remembering that helps us to find acceptance, meaning and purpose. And, sometimes there are some regrets or some things I wish I'd said something to someone, or I'm sorry this happened a certain way, but that as we share our memories, especially in community or with others, we find peace and wholeness and acceptance that was all part of our life experience. That was part of, how we were, that was just part of what we had to teach each other, that we're all here to be students and teachers for each other. So I always find it's helpful to remember that the word that Jesus used for death actually translates to mean not here, but appearing elsewhere. You can still feel a person's presence if they're not here in physical form. And so sometimes we say, oh, we've lost a loved one, or I'm sorry for your loss. And, if something's lost, you don't know where it is. But I feel like with Julie, we do know where she is. She's not lost. She knows where she is. And we can know in our hearts, and that she lives on in our hearts and in our memories, and who we are, that we are the carrier of the wisdom and the love that she shared with us. So, we want to have an opportunity now for first the family. I was going to share some things, Zoe and Alana. I love that A and Z. She covered the whole alphabet with 2 kids. She's got the whole. You two are the whole shebang. But I think that you're going to share some things, and then we're going to open it up, an opportunity for others that would like to share memories. And I have some things I want to share, but. So, Zoe, you want to go first? Make sure you speak right into the mic so we can hear you well. Yeah, please.
A little taller. Thank you, Reverend Mary. I'll just say it's so wonderful to see everybody here today. Mom touched us all in a lot of ways, and gatherings like this and the one we had yesterday with family and friends just kind of reaffirms it's like a way you get all the love back, right, that she shared over her life. So, okay. So I'm just going to share a couple of things about Mom, and when I think about her and the kind of mom she was and friend she was. She was fun and adventurous. When we were young, she was part of this organization called Wonderful Women. And it was an organization of women who would bring their daughters and their granddaughters to go whitewater rafting on the New River in West Virginia, and she took us a couple times. And I came to learn that she actually recruited a couple groups of people from here and also took y'all down to go. Mom was always up for an adventure, and she loved things that were fun and a little bit dangerous. So that was definitely that. She was a really strong person. She went through a lot of emotional and physical pain and illness throughout her life. She lost a husband, my sister's dad, John, to suicide, and went through that grief. She raised me and my sister mostly without a partner, and had to be really strong for that. She overcame hepatitis C, and that took a toll on her liver and went through liver failure. And she also had breast and skin cancer and was really strong through all of it. She didn't let anything defeat her. And she always wanted me and Alana to be really strong. I think that felt like that was her goal. If she left feeling like we were strong, then she did her job. And she didn't just tell us that was important, she showed us by modeling that for us. So, and she was so kind. I think that's one of the biggest things that people say to us when they talk about her. She loved people fiercely. She always loved helping people. whether it was, to have meals for friends who maybe didn't have family around for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Like even on her birthday, she would cook big meals for other people. And I was like, oh, Mom, you should take a load off. You should order or get somebody else to do that. And she was like, no, I'm going to do it. It's okay. And she really loved hosting people. She loved her grandkids. She loved y'all, right? She loved reading and spending time and going on trips and on seeing you light up. She also had a lot of students. She worked with the visually impaired, and her students and their families were also like our family. She loved animals hard, and for those of you who really know her, you know. Her dog Stella and Natalie, and she had a lot of animals. A lot of them were animals that we had first, her kids, and then we would like lose interest, and she was just like, somebody needs to love them. So she ended up keeping guinea pigs, like all kinds of birds, all kinds of things from that were like we had and then we're like done with. And she fought for a lot of causes, and that was about love, the love for justice. Me being an organizer, I always tell people I think I got the organizing bug through her from osmosis or whatever. She would be organizing different things and just bring us and put us on the floor and with some crayons and stuff. And so I think we were able to grow up and feel like that was a normal thing that people do. When things aren't right, you get people together and you figure out a plan for how you're going to change things, and then you do. And so I really love that. We have that from her. She just really believed that a small group of people working together to take actions for change was the way. So she had a liver transplant that saved her life in 2004 and at the Cleveland Clinic. And after that, she loved gardening, like absolutely loved it. She didn't garden before that, like ever. A lot of people thought like, oh, it was a lifelong, no. We did not grow up with her like that. So we used to make jokes like, oh, maybe the person's liver that she got was like a gardener. We don't know. But it was really funny. But she actually went and took classes to learn how to grow different plants and everything. And then she killed all the grass in her front yard. And she made a beautiful wildflower garden, and it's still there. You can go down West Utica and see it, and created this beautiful community garden with the block club that's a little bit down the street in that same block. And please go and see it. If you get a chance, it's amazing. And there's like a brick pathway you can walk. There's Japanese maple trees and papyrus and all kinds of beautiful things. And I think it was her realizing that was like a legacy or like a way to create life that benefits everybody and everything. She had a lot of pride in Alana and me being artists. And even though we went to performing arts, high school, Emily and lots of other people, and she was so proud of us doing art. And we were in that school from 5th to 12th grade, and so we made a lot of art, and not all of it was good. But she kept like every single piece, and we were like, Mom, like, come on, like, you can throw this away, like, we don't even like this. And she was like, no, like, I'm keeping it all. So it was just wonderful to be like, have her be proud of us, and tell us often. Mom came out as queer and bisexual later in life, and when Aaron and I actually were engaged, she said, yeah, I'm queer too. And And that was beautiful. I'm happy that she shared that with us and really showed us that, you know, it's not ever too late to be your full self, whoever you are. You should be that, and don't have fear regardless of what anybody else says. Be your full self. That was another way to model for other people. She loved traveling. She went and studied abroad in Mexico when she was young in college. She went to Barcelona with Alana, and they had an amazing time, and they brought back all of these foods and recipes that she cooked. After that, she got to go to Hawaii and England and Scotland with her sisters and family, and she just raved about the time that she spent with them. She went to Guatemala with our cousin Charlie. He is a scientist and was building cooking stoves for people in the countryside. And they were looking for stoves that would be healthier for people because the smoke was sometimes they would breathe it in. So he was kind of trying to perfect a model for a cooking stove that was better for people for indoor cooking. And so they stayed there for about a month, and Mom was kind of like his assistant. And and was they had an amazing time, and Mom just raved about meeting different people and the experience that was. And then she also went with a friend to Aruba, an old work colleague who she hadn't seen for probably 30 years, who was like, I like to go there every year. Would you be interested in going down with me? And Mom was like, oh yeah, I've never been there. So they went and had a really good time. But yeah, she loved traveling. So yeah, I think she loved so many of us in so many ways. We're learning how to celebrate her memory, and we hope that you do too, in doing deeds and just thinking fondly of her and all the things that she worked for and loved. I'll let my sister say some things.
Hi, my name's Alana. I'm Julie's daughter, the younger sister. First, I want to say thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Unity was a staple in our mother's life and in our childhood as well. We were both active in the church as children, and the group...
Youth of Unity.
Youth of Unity, YOU. We were members and got to travel in YOU groups and meet friends and make real friendships, few lifelong friendships in Pennsylvania and regional. Yeah, so just thank you for the Unity community, for my mother and for us. I do have just a brief passage or write-up that I wanted to read, talking about how my mother has impacted me and helped raise me. So she's been a wonderful and supportive mother. No matter what was the struggle or how difficult the situation, she stayed with me and saw me through it as a child and as an adult. I actually remember just a few months ago, I called her. Actually, this is just before she fell in February. I had a really hard day at the school that I worked at, and I just bawled to her just about how hard the day was. And she was just there to listen. And that's just who she was. She was always there when I called her and put her own stuff aside and just wanted to hear my own mess. So I'm gonna miss that forever, but I'll keep going. So she taught me to be strong and independent. She also showed me what it means to be a true and loyal friend and partner. All of these characteristics have prepared me for the challenges that life so often presents. Her kindness and loyalty for so many over the years is evident. Everyone here is here for Julie, our mom, and we really appreciate that. She helped so many in her life, and when the times came when she was in need, she graciously accepted the generosity and support from others. And I know there's so many in this room who directly impacted her in those ways, so thank you. I'd like to share, lastly, just a recent memory I had with my mom when she was in the hospital the last month she was with us. In April, while in the hospital, my mother explained to me with warm blue eyes and a smile on her face. She told me, I've lived a full and happy life. I really have, and I'm always with you. I then kissed her on the forehead and I said, I know. I love you too, Mom. These words were very difficult, of course, to hear at the time, but it's already just a very warm memory that I have and I hold dear. So thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. Did you want to say something?
Thanks, everybody. And thanks again, Reverend Mary, Alora, and like all of our church community. We really love you.
We love you too. Thank you. So I'd like to open it up if there's anyone that would like to share. If you'd like to come forward and share something, or we can bring the mic to you. But yeah, Michelle, yeah, I knew you were. We for sure wanted to hear from you.
All right, everyone. I'm Michelle, for those who don't know. I'm very comfortable being up here in public speaking, as my Unity family knows, but I do feel nervous about sharing. I met Julie here at Unity. I've been coming here for like 18 years, and I don't recall like when or how we started talking, but I think I probably saw Tony Schroeder and her shooting the shit and laughing, and I'm like, those are the people I wanna be with. There was gay, queer energy, and I'm like, I'm gonna assert myself. I'm not afraid. I'm like, I'm gonna introduce myself to those people, and the conversations we would have were inappropriate for this setting, but you know, that's another. I just saw Tony last night. Before we know it, we got up into this inappropriate conversation, but that's another story. Julie's friendship really meant the world to me. I truly appreciated her wisdom, her kindness, her lived experiences, her generosity, her judgment-free perspective, and her compassion. But most of all, I was moved by her love and care for me. She saw me for who I am. She accepted me. She embraced me and valued me and supported me. Something that I can say I haven't had much of as a gay person, as someone who is an independent thinker, outspoken, transparent, authentic. She embraced these qualities, whereas others in my personal and professional life frowned upon and was not, and they didn't like. That didn't stop me though, at all. So I mean, just to experience that from Julie was just so moving. And I want to share just something that she did, which really demonstrated this unconditional love, which again is, I think, very rare. 9 years ago, a group of friends and I, including Julie, we got together for my birthday. And my mother, who doesn't live in town, treated us for a birthday dinner. And Julie was like, hey, I want to send your mom a thank you card. I'm like, oh, my mom's so old school. She'll like really appreciate that. My mom's never really met my friends. We have a very strained, complicated relationship. So I was like, yeah, go ahead. So Julie sent this thank you card to my mother. But unbeknownst to me, it wasn't just a thank you card thanking my mother for dinner. Like on just a passing moment, one day my mother shared that she had gotten this card from Julie. And Julie, in a sense, these aren't my mother's words verbatim, but Julie, in a sense, highlighted what I would consider my lovely qualities. Something that my mother really struggles with seeing. And I remember I sort of did a double take, and I said, what was in the card? And when my mother shared more, I was just like in awe. To me, and again, I had no idea that Julie was going to share these things about me, and then she thanked my mother for raising me the way she did. It was probably one of the most loving acts that someone's ever done for me. And I don't think my mother really got the impact it had on me, and I'm not sure the impact on her, but I can guarantee you my mother still has this card. And I don't know if she reads it or whatever. We didn't talk more about it, but it just really demonstrated Julie's unconditional love, and it's something, it was just huge for me. So really, my friendship with her was very healing and sort of transformative. She is really one of a kind, a gemstone, and I think I'm really a better person because of her. And I really never saw her as a mother figure, but she definitely was. And she'll always have a special place in my heart, and I'll always think of all of you because I've heard so much about you, and you are your mother, and I feel so blessed that I knew her.
Thank you, Michelle. Honestly, I have thought about you as kind of like the third daughter, although I know it was much more than that. Oh, is there anybody? Let's kind of take a moment and think about. Yeah, come on up, Aaron.
Hi, y'all. I'm Erin. I'm Zoe's wife. And I don't really have much to say, and I'm going to cry, so I won't say much. But I know Julie's been bugging me since I've been sitting here to remind folks to register to vote. Make sure you vote this year. It was really, really important to her, so much so that she orchestrated lots of postcard campaigns, probably roped some of you into them. So this is going to be a really important year for us to show up and to stand up for progressive causes. So that. I'll also say that Julie gave really funny presents. I don't know if you've gotten gifts from Julie. Some of the most unique gifts I've gotten in my life are from Julie. I got a purse once that was made of nylons. That was a notable one I won't ever forget. She gave me my very favorite rings and jewelry, and I will always keep those close to me and remember that she always reminded Zoe to be nice to me when we were having fights. And she was very, very proud of her girls and her grandkids. And we're going to be planting a special thing at the farm for her, and we're getting new chickens because she adored our chickens. And I'll think about her every time I see them and remember just the ways in which she was never like an overpowering presence, but a very present presence, and that she liked to observe things happening, people doing what they did best, and she loved to celebrate her friends. We heard about all of you all the time. She had lots of stories about the adventures that she had with y'all and people that she just felt were so dear. Every time we saw her, she had adopted new folks to the clan, new people that were important to her. So I appreciate you all being here, and and I'm excited that when we see each other, we will be in her memory together, and excited for the ways that it will continue to reverberate through our community as we remember to vote, mostly.
Well, and I do remember when you published your book, Erin, and we had the book signing here. She was so proud of your having published that book. And so, is there anyone else? Well, I've got a few things to say. I just want to say that Julie was an elder in our community. You know, I think of her more than 30 years, I think she attended here. And, you know, I've been here 21 years, but she was really a link from one era to another. She was a wisdom keeper, you know, and she was so proud. She never missed an opportunity to not talk about how Zoe and Alana, you grew up in our church. She was an advocate for our youth program. She volunteered as a Sunday school coordinator. She was active with Voice Buffalo whenever we would do something, be part of a larger event in the community to make a difference in some way. She was there. She championed that Massachusetts Avenue project. I mean, there wasn't a Christmas that went by, you know, when she started that, when we didn't provide gifts for everybody, all the young people, and thanks to Mike's help, we're continuing that this year, last year, and going forward. She loved our Peace Park. She talked about the Peace Park all the time. She participated in our spirit groups, our small group ministry, and then, as I said, she loved to sing in the choir. You know, she found her voice in so many areas of our lives in the world, but singing was one of those places. And I was telling Zoe about, I remember that at some point several years ago, there was another women's singing group that came together in the community that was singing social justice songs and showing up at City Hall and different places. She was really proud of being part of that. But as I think about all the qualities about Julie, the things that rise to the top are her kindness and her gentleness. You know, she was strong and clear about how she felt about matters of social justice, or sticking up, championing the less fortunate or the underdogs. But she always spoke about those things with such an inner strength of spirit that she could do it without being harsh or unkind about others, but just standing for truth. And, you know, she had a gentleness, but she was so grounded, and just a kindness. I can't think I ever heard her say an unkind word about anyone or anything. And she loved to laugh. You know, I can just almost close my eyes and hear her laugh, her lightness of being, and I think that helped her persevere through all the life challenges and health challenges. But truly, she is a wisdom keeper, and we talk about holding sacred space. She was the embodiment of that people felt safe in her presence. They felt loved, they felt accepted, they felt encouraged, and they felt uplifted, and like whatever's going on in the world, you know, there's a shining light. There's going to be a new day. So she will be greatly missed, but she's in our hearts and minds. Is there anyone else before we move on? So in our unity understanding of transitions and passing, you know, we can have our human sadness about the loss of a person, but we can also remember that you know, it is like so much like the prayer that we always read at a unity service, The Traveler by James Dillett Freeman, that this describes it so well, that she has put on invisibility, dear Lord, I cannot see, but this I know, although the road ascends and passes through from my sight, there will be no night. You will take her gently by the hand and lead her on along the road of life that never ends. and she will find it is not death but dawn. I do not doubt that you are there as here, and you will hold her dear. Our life did not begin with birth, it is not of the earth. And this that we call death, it's no more than the opening and closing of a door. And in your house, how many rooms there must be beyond this one where we rest momently? Dear Lord, I thank you for the faith that frees, the love that knows it cannot lose its own, the love that looking through the shadows sees that you and she and I are ever one. So we have another song. Karen is Love is My Decision, and this is a congregational song that we usually all sing together, and so if you want to sing along, please join us as we sing and enjoy this music together.
Love is my decision, up to me to stand on my heart. Love is my decision, no one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision, up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision, no one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision, up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision, no one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, love will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now.
Thank you, Karen and Joe. Yeah. So there's a brief story I'd like to share, and then we'll have a little bit of time for reflection. But there's a story about a man at the turn of the century who had gone over to England for his only time in Europe, and he fell in love with these English nightingales and the very unique song that they sing. And he loved it so much he bought 100 of these birds, and he brought them back to the United States. But because they were unaccustomed to our climate here, one by one they perished. And on the day when the last bird had died and he was burying this beautiful English nightingale, he heard this song coming up from a tree, and it was one of our native mockingbirds that was perfectly mimicking the song of that English nightingale. You know, and I like to think that with Julie, you know, her voice is silent now, but her song lives on in each one of us that knew her and loved her. That we take those qualities of who she was and how she touched our heart, and we make it real in our own lives, and We are changed, as Michelle said. We're not the same person for having known Julie. And so people who know us and people we haven't even met yet that we're going to interact with will be blessed by Julie's song that lives on and expresses through us. Myrtle Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, said that all that another has meant to you has left an imprint upon your soul so that you might profit by it daily. So I'd like to just give us a moment to take a deep breath. And gosh, we've heard a lot. So much sharing from Zoe and Alana and Michelle and sharing over the dinner we had before the service. I just invite you to go into your heart and to think about the imprint on your soul that this dear beloved woman has left by her life, her legacy, like those wildflowers in her yard. That there is a memory, there is a way in which she has touched our souls and it lives on through us. And I like to think even that in services like this, it may very well be possible that Julie's soul is right here in this room with us. Or at the very least that she can hear the meditations of our heart. You know, our thoughts, our prayers. And they transmit an energy and a vibration beyond time and space, beyond the visible to the invisible. And so if there was anything that you would want to say to Julie right now, or you would want her to know from the deepest part of you, just bring that to mind as a thought. And to know that that thought is a prayer that is lifted up to a vibration, to an energy that Julie can feel and hear and know. Thank you, Julie. We celebrate your life. And we grab the baton, we grab the torch, we're ready to carry on and do even greater things because of you. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. And so it is. Amen. I'd like to invite you to say a prayer with me. It's in the bulletin, prayer for remembering. And I really love this. In the rising of the sun and in its going down, we remember Julie. In the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember Julie. In the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember Julie. In the rustling of leaves and the beauty of autumn, we remember Julie. In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember Julie. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember Julie. When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember Julie. When we have decisions that are difficult to make, we remember Julie. And when we have achievements that are based on theirs, we remember Julie. For as long as we live, they too shall live, for they are now a part of us as we remember Julie. And I just say, anybody who's born on Christmas, that's a sign right there that they are a gift to the world. If there was ever any doubt, there's no doubt. So we have one more song, and it's, again, a favorite of Julie's. And I'd like to invite you to stand if you'd like. I Stand for Love. And again, this is, something that I think she would want us to remember as we think about her.
I stand for love, I stand for peace, I stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope, I stand for you, I stand for peace, I stand for peace, I stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. I stand for joy, I stand for you. You know the world is in great pain. To stand for peace, to stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true, to stand for hope, to stand for you. You're thinking it's not urgent, that we've got more time to kill. If I'm not the one who'll change things, then for heaven's sake, who will? So I will move and I will climb the mountains one step at a time. I won't be swayed, I will not stop until we've made it to the top, where we will stand for love and peace. We'll stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. We'll stand for hope, we'll stand for you. It's beautiful and true. We'll stand for hope. I stand for you.
we stand for our love. So if you'll be seated for a minute, before we close, I want to thank everyone that was part of supporting our service today. Karen and Joe for the music, Michelle Hollandaise for special assistance with planning and coordinating everything, and Mary Ann and Michelle for greeting, and for Christy Stevens and Don Hicks for our tech support. The service was live streamed, which means a recording will be available if you would like it later. And everyone that helped with the potluck and the cleanup, and there's lots of food. So I just want to remind you there's a guest book there, so if you haven't signed it, please sign it so the family knows who's come. We have lots of copies of the obituary. If you want an extra to share with someone, be sure to take that. And also in the at the end of this, there are some suggestions of where the family, if you'd like to make a memorial gift in Julie's honor, there are 2 or 3 organizations here that are mentioned with the contact information. So on behalf of the family, we want to thank you for being here, for sharing your time and your love and your prayers and your support. And it's just, it's not much more I can say except we love you. We love you, Julie, and your family. So let us close with our prayer for protection. Some of us know it, some of us don't, but if you know it, please join me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And may we all go in peace, knowing how much we were loved by Julie and how blessed we are to have this community of support. Thank you so much. God bless you, one and all. And we may greet the family now. So thank you.